Hi everybody, this is your reading for Saturday the 9th of December. Thanks for joining me. I'm using the Wheel of the Year Tarot for today's reading. And I love using this deck because the colors are really bright and the pictures are really fun and animated. So let's have a look at what's coming up for you today. Knight of Swords, Three of Cups, and the Two of Wands. Okay, so we've got a couple of things here. So first of all, the Knight of Swords is a court card. It's about rushing into things, not thinking things through, speaking before you actually think about what you're saying. That's kind of a problematic situation, especially if you're in a social setting and you're totally unfiltered. Once it's said, you can't really take it back. We're also in a Mercury retrograde at the moment, so it's really important to dot the I's and cross the T's before you move ahead with anything official, contracts, employment agreements. And in this case, for instance, the Knight of Swords, he's in the castle, he's sitting around, he's doing something. He gets an idea, suddenly comes in, puts on his armor, gets his horse and rushes out to immediately sort out that thing whichever occurred to him. And that really is the epitome of the ego, because ego guidance is always urgent. It's always really frazzling in a sense, and you have to take action on it straight away. So there may be a tendency to move ahead with something without looking at all the details, whether it's correct, whether it's accurate, whether it's helpful. And what I'm being told intuitively as I'm looking at this card is that also this today represents being self-absorbed and really listening to your own head very much and kind of just being in your own little world. Whereas what's really going to help you much more is connecting with other people. Now, the Three of Chalices is a card that represents celebration, getting together with friends, having a good time. In this deck, it's somewhat unfortunately kind of put together because, okay, yes, we've got three children celebrating, but unfortunately it looks like they're going to club this poor little baby bird. So I don't think that was the intention of the card makers when they made this. I think what they were trying to say is that, oh, look, this bird has just kind of come out of its egg and the little girls are looking and they're celebrating and they're cheering. Just happens that it looks rather ominous. They're holding these very heavy chalices over their head. So the message is to connect with other people, to celebrate something positive and new coming into the world. And, you know, celebrating something positive and new is always more fun when you do it with other people than when you do it yourself. So the cards are saying, don't be super self-involved and think of what can I do and what can I perfect and what is it that I want and need and what is it that I desire. And instead put that aside, especially if it feels urgent and especially if it causes you anxiety, and just say, you know, this doesn't have to be done today necessarily. What's going to be much better is connecting with people who I love and seeing if someone else has something that they've achieved, or if someone in my life has something to celebrate, and for me to be there for them. You know, friendships are, not that I'm a major expert on this, but friendships are really something you have to put a little bit of work into. And yes, if someone's feeling down or if someone's feeling unhappy, it's really important to be there for that friend. And if they ring you, to pick up the phone and to say, and to listen to what's going on and to maybe just hear them and, you know, share their pain a little bit and even give them advice if they ask for it. You know, that's what a good friend does. But also, another way of bonding with people is to be around for the good stuff. You know, for the college graduations and the birth of a new child, or the start of a new business, or the first sale of the new fashion line. When you're there with your friend in those happy times, it bonds you just as much as when you're there when they're struggling. So today is a great day to get out of yourself, to put aside all of your life problems, and I'm not trying to trivialize them or be facetious here in any way, but the thing about this is that we always have problems. The ego keeps us busy from age 0 to 108 with problems. And you'll notice that in your life, as soon as you've solved one problem, the next one crops up. So today is okay for you not to resolve all of those things. It's a good time to celebrate and to get closer to your friends or even family members, people you love, your adopted family, and to celebrate some wonderful new event. And the final card, the Two of Wands, is also about connection. These two are building this little kind of scaffolding framework for this bean to grow up on, this magic bean, so they can get to their giants and say hello and visit. But the Two of Wands is basically about new beginnings, working at something that you care about, and looking to the future. And it's interesting because in the regular tarot, it's usually one man in a red cloak who's standing in between a doorway with the world in his hand, looking out over the sea and saying, I'm in control of my life. I can look at where I want to go in the future. I can look at what I care about and what I want to pursue. But I'm using this deck for a reason, and nothing is arbitrary about that. You know, I could have picked the Radiant Rider-Waite deck for today's tarot. I could have used the Wild Unknown tarot, but I didn't. For whatever reason, I chose the Wheel of the Year tarot. And in this deck, the Two of Wands is about two people working together at something. No one's holding the world in the palm of their hand, but they're working as a team. So that's what this day is about. Don't be the Knight of Swords who rushes into things, especially with our communication planet being in this retrograde motion. But instead, connect with other people, do something that's productive, work with them, or celebrate something that's already been achieved and you'll have a great time, or offer to help someone, offer to be of service, offer to support. And then once you've built this thing, and then once you can step back from it and say, okay, this bean is now able to grow and it's got somewhere to go, then the two of you can invite a friend and celebrate together and be really, really happy. And pat each other on the back and say, well done, I couldn't have done it without your skills. You're so amazing. No, you're so amazing. No, you're amazing. And you can have a mutual appreciation society, and you can really have fun and get on very well. And it's important for you not to isolate yourself today and to be there for other people, because that's where the joy and the happiness is going to come from. So it looks really, really positive. If you don't have a single friend in the world, that's fine. Then you can go out and you can volunteer, or you can see how you can help, or you can call up a local food bank and see if they have enough food for the day, or if they need someone else to hand things out. You know, there are always people in the world who are worse off than you. There are always people who need help and support. And if you think, oh, okay, I've got the whole day to myself, I've got nothing to do, but I'd really like to connect with someone, then there are opportunities and there are places where you can go to be of service to other people. And that in itself may start a friendship, or will allow you to feel like, hey, I'm building something really worthwhile with these other people. And that could bond you to someone. And that way, by being giving and caring and loving, you can make a new friend. And then in future, when something wonderful or negative happens, then you can pick up the phone and share that with another person. Number-wise, we've got 2 and 3 is 5, and a chord card is 1. So 5 and 1 is 6, and 6 is an opportunity, a temporary opportunity, a window of opportunity that opens and that is there for a certain amount of time. So today is really a chance for you to have fun with other people, to celebrate and to focus on the good stuff in life, to laugh, to feel connected, to be happy, and to enjoy the company of others. So I hope you have a great day. People are going to be happy to see you. You're going to be in a giving and considerate and caring mood. So with those things in place, it's a no-brainer. You'll have a really good day. I hope you have a fabulous Saturday. If you'd like a private reading with me, then please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the Readings tab to order your reading. In my readings, I use astrology, tarot, and numerology. The astrology chart gives me a blueprint of your soul. It shows me why you've come back into this lifetime, what your vocational aptitudes are, so what your skills and talents are that you should really make the most of when it comes to your working life. I can have a look at your strengths and weaknesses, and I can also use the predictive astrology and the tarot to look at what's coming up in future in terms of your friendships, in terms of your professional life, your career. finances, financial security, when the best time is to buy a house, to sell a house, when is good to travel, what parts of the world are ideal for you and what energies really resonate with you, and where the best place is for you to live. What's coming up in terms of your family life, spiritual progress. Any questions at all, get in touch with me for a private reading. Please remember to subscribe to this YouTube channel, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.